What is going on, everybody? We're back on it for the first time. Pluto. Didn't know it was a Netflix show. Or you guys have to tell me, is it like a Netflix original thing? Is it just an anime that happened to be streamed through Netflix? I'm sure you guys will fill me in on all this information as we go. Hour-long episodes. I don't know if we're gonna put the full length reactions up on Patreon. If that's something people might be interested in, maybe we'll do that. But you know, we'll get the highlighted reaction. Hour long, should be decently long reaction videos once we chop it up. I know 0% about whatever this is. Pluto, is that just somebody's name? Are they on the planet Pluto? Does it have anything to do with the planet Pluto? Or I guess, what are we not calling that a planet anymore these days? Yeah, I've read no synopsises, you know, no summaries, no introductions. So we're going in here just completely blind, completely blank. We had a massive poll for this. This was the most back and forth poll that we've ever had as far as trying to vote for a show. I'm trying to think if I have the breakdown here. We came down to... So we had over 500 votes. We left it up for a week. It was going back and forth like crazy. First it was ReZero, then the Fate series took over, then Hell's Paradise took over, then Pluto just had this crazy comeback, and then Hell's Paradise came out again, and then at the very end, Pluto ended up getting 32% of the vote, Hell's Paradise second with 28%. Then it was ReZero, Made in Abyss, and the Fate series. So we're here. We should be able to get this in and out in 8 weeks. Should be done by the time My Hero rolls around and whatever Demon Slayer season's coming out. But yeah, hour long. Let's see what we got. Since it's Netflix, since it looks like it is a official Netflix series, Netflix original, whatever you want to call it, I am expecting the art in the animation to be crisp. And I mean crisp. I expect this thing to be dialed in with that Netflix money. Now, is it a Netflix original story, or is this an actual manga just being adapted by Netflix? Netflix just took on the project. Is that TV screen just floating? What futuristic timeline? What the heck? Projector drop down screen am I looking at here? Mountain guide robot. Classic story. Doesn't matter if it's anime, sitcom, whatever. Wife makes a breakfast, husband comes down, doesn't take a single bite of it, is in a rush to leave. Okay, so I don't know if this is like not real world clearly, but like if we're going with real world logic, what year are we in here? Like, we're pretty futuristic here. I mean, I wouldn't say too future. I mean, it looks futuristic, but I could see the world accomplishing what I'm looking at here in 50 to 100 years. Doesn't look too crazy. Whoa. I like that. Alright, so we definitely get some futuristic here. Is this some like iRobot, like robots are used for purposes and for good and for things in the world, but they go a little rogue sometimes? Like, is it equal distribution humans, equal distribution robots? What we got going on here? Is that same symbol? Is like just the two things sticking out with a head? Yep. Okay, so we saw that in the opening mountain burning down scene. All right, so we definitely have some like robot animosity, Will Smith iRobot thing going on, where maybe the world accepts them, but he doesn't. Something's going on here. Something seems fishy. He did say my partner, and then like retracted and said a bot. Looks like there's a very like fine line between like people are like with it or they're not with it. Did he just... You got like tech to help you with the landing, or are you not gonna show me how he landed? How did he just not blow out both Achilles, both kneecaps, both hips? Oh. Say no more. I guess I don't need to see how he landed. Okay, so is this a common thing? Humans with enhancements? Or is he a robot that looks like a human? What? How is he statistically like reading his vitals and shit? Okay, so I take back what I said about like, oh, the world could look like this and be like this in the next 50 to 100 years. Whatever he is? No. No, 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 no. Maybe. No. Okay, it's very I Am Robot. Like, robots are fully integrated. Housekeeping, regular jobs, police officers, places of authority. It's very I Am Robot. Like, it's programmed into them that robots cannot harm and will not harm yet. And so these robots are they fully free thinking, free form? Like, clearly they're programmed with some kind of base, you know, foundation programming of like, you know, don't harm humans. You know, if you're served to be a cop, maybe this is what your general programming will be. If you're served to be this, if you're served to be that, etc. But it seems like they have a little bit of just like maybe free will. I mean, whatever he is, this detective, sure. But the base ones, like the maid in the house, she's over here talking about memories and emotions, and they're saying, you know, Blanchet, you know, they're saying it seems like he's got a damn near personality. He was a poet, and he did this, and he did that. Because it seems like we're very past a level of like robots being created and them only being able to say yes, no to commands type thing, you know? They can hold free thinking conversations and give responses. And is it him? Is our boy here the... See the one we're looking for? And then, so, you know, we asked earlier, his wife, quote unquote, she a real human, like 100% human? If she is, does she know? And if she doesn't know, what are the laws as far as, you know, human and robot lovers? Or, I don't know. It seems like the classic thing of like AI intelligence having subconscious. Can they dream? Is it actual dream and imagination? Is it just programming, giving images? So like there's going to be a lot of like humanity level questions. Can robots be humans? Can they feel? Can they have emotions? Can they do XYZ? Who are they loyal to? Should we support this, not support this? Oh, her husband was the cop. I thought she was a maid for the family of the human that got hurt. So they just have robots just like robots just living as like couples without like serving any human purpose, like serving any humans. They just live. I guess where else would you store them? Like, where does the police officer robot go when they're not on the job? I don't know. Can you not just like put them in a room and like power him down? So they're out here like living lot, like, all right, honey, I'm off to work. Clock in, clock out. She's like cooking. Huh. Interesting. Oh shit. But would that even take priority of like what he's got going on in front of him? You think from a programming standpoint, like you have a physical threat in front of you. That's what I'm saying. If a bird came by or a plane or anything, would he be that easily distracted? 100% human jumping between skyscrapers like that? I mean, I wouldn't put it past this world for humans, like I'm talking real humans, to have maybe a little bit of a mechanical enhancements, perhaps. Who's this masked man? Oh, they've got him like in a stasis mode type shit. The most advanced detective robot. I was about to say, what is this here? Is he like a super high supreme prison, like robot prisoner? Okay, so I'm assuming he's killed humans before. So what would be the reason if it wasn't a malfunction? They want to know. They're going to keep... What are they, just researching him? Just trying to figure out why he would kill a human? And they've yet to figure that out? Is that really straight, though? like... Would he... Does he, like, assimilate the body if you exchange memory chips? Can he not pull that thing out himself? Or maybe he wants to preserve his own life, too. That's an interesting... Yeah, that's probably one of the biggest talking points, is whatever that is that they have going on in there. It's probably the biggest talking point of this episode so far. So what I gather from that is, whatever that is, robot number 1589 or whatever he was. He's a robot that's killed a human, at least, or humans in the past. Captured. They ran diagnostics, tests, upgrades, everything on him to see if it was a malfunction or a software error. It was nothing. Perfectly fine. Everything came back clean. So the humans... So the only explanation is that a robot just did that. And humans can't accept that robots just did that, because that means if he just did that, then all robots could just do that. So why do they keep him in that kind of like stasis? Do they just examine him continuously to try to find answers, or have they just kind of like given up on it but don't want to kill him, so they keep him there, or what? Like, why keep him alive, I guess is the question, if he's not being examined on like a daily basis. And he made a comment that our man there has... Did he say that he's killed a human before? Because we've seen him with PTSD flashbacks and shit. Because like I said this is just 100% iRobot. Like, the parallels are crazy. Are there humans that have robotic enhancements? I'm sure they can replace limbs and things like that. But do you have humans in this world enhancing themselves to make them like faster, stronger, etc.? Man's got some really hate for technology in his heart. He said he was blind, but you're telling me technology is so caught up these days that they can give him eyes and he refuses? That is some serious hate in your heart. Man's walking around blind by choice. Press a couple buttons in the old settings, like some Matrix. Like, can they not just upload into him and he could just start on the keys, or what? Whoever's voicing that robot too, the voice actor sounds familiar. I can't piece it together. I'm guessing, is this the old man as a kid? Was his parents killed by a robot? Did he lose his eyes because of he is... I'm gonna need some backstory to see where he's coming from. Clearly he does not like machines, robots, any of it. That'll do it. Oh, so she left with the man and just left her son. Yep. Wow. I wonder what ended up becoming of his mother. He tried to get as much as he could with those eyes before they really gave out. His Sharingan is starting to affect his vision. That was it. And he made the comment that they can give him artificial eyes to, like, let him see. Oh, wow. So nothing ever happened with his mother. I thought maybe the mom would come around when she found out he was composing famous music and all this, but... Yo, the animation they're using for the fire looks insane. And they're using him Learning how to play the piano as the OST for his little war killing flashback. Just invite North number 2 back, bro. You got this massive compound on 10, 20, 30, 50 plus acres. You can't cook for yourself, can't do shit for yourself, can't clean shit. Get somebody in there. Oh, here we go. I'm still curious where his disdain for the robot, the machines come from. I can understand him being like an artist and thinking machines can't produce art in any type of form. But he doesn't even like machinery that'll make his life easier. Him choosing to be blind is crazy to me, by the way. And his mother leaving him and then there never being any follow-up to that mother storyline is also crazy. She didn't come back to him like poor, begging to like have him back in her life. You know, they didn't run into each other. She didn't come for his wealth when he started, you know, coming up on the come up. Just left her, never saw her again, and she just died at some point. True bitch. He sees it. Relax. Relax. Don't break it. What else are you gonna have if you get rid of that What else are you gonna have if you get rid of that piano, bro? What else are you gonna have? Height. Alright, good that they can find some companionship. But I'm curious if that's just like this here, right? With the old man and everything. Is this a one-off storyline? Because we only got 8 episodes, by the way. They're an hour long, yes, but we only got 8. But I think we're just it's gonna be a lot of this, like I said, humanity, robots, what is, what isn't, are they not, is this possible, is it not possible? Maybe it is going to be like a monster Tenma Johan thing where as we're following our main character, the detective robot, throughout the 8 episodes we also get, come on guys, laugh, giggle, ha ha ha, we also get side stories every 8 episodes that we're in as we follow him, but we break off with side stories of showing good human robot relationships, bad human robot relationships, and I guess the viewer's just gonna have to kind of decide what maybe side of the fence that they fall on. Okay. I was about to say, we're not about to get like, is there a war starting? Don't tell me this place is about to get bombed. Tornado. Shit. Whatever that is, human or robot, is just... Oh no. He's gonna have to go do what he does. What if he doesn't? Okay, I was about to say, is this gonna be... Oh, there actually is, like... Oh, shit. Oh, shit. What is he gonna do against a natural, like, occurring... What? Is that natural? I don't know. because he made a comment about like, oh, what happened in Switzerland with, you know, it was a tornado. He's like, well, one of those tornadoes is heading here. I'm like, it's not a tornado, but what the hell are these black clouds? What the hell is that? And what is he gonna, and like, what is he gonna do against it? What's the play here, buddy? What the hell is this Super Saiyan battle they're having up there? Oh my god. That's not good. Is there a robot fight going? That ain't no tornado, bro. What is it? I'm assuming North number 2 dies here. That's such a shitty, depressing life for the old man. He just had this like mental breakthrough and finally is able to compose again and positive thoughts about his mother and finding out that he wasn't abandoned, etc., etc. Has a good working relationship with North number 2 and a machine, and that is awfully depressing. What? Okay, and that's how it ends. We literally got like 30 seconds left. What the hell was that? The kid's name is Adam, like Atom Bomb. That was some creepy ass music. Is that just a I don't even know what thumbnail we're gonna use. I'll just have to Google search and all those type of things. That's a pretty nice shot. Okay, so we got, I mean, we just had an hour-long episode. We have a lot to discuss, but we'll try to chop it up accordingly. Let me get rid of, I think this is, oh, nope, not that one. This one, okay. So we see, like, kind of what the theme's going to be here. Very, very strong, like, iRobot feelings of, you know, machines are essentially, like, 100% integrated into the world in whatever time period this ends. It's not like, oh, they're in the beginning phases of like, oh, how can robots help? You know, they're very, like I said, it's not like they're programmed in the beginning way of like where they just take like direct commands. It's like, robot, pick this up and put it over there. Yes, and it just like moves in a straight line, grabs something, picks it up, places it, moves it, goes back, waits for like another inputted command. They are free thinking, having their own thoughts, free-flowing conversations, dreaming, seem to be having some emotions, like they have consciousness, subconsciousness, you know, and that's a very big question. And you see this in all type of shows, movies, stories that have robots of like, can they think for themselves? Is it okay to give robots emotions? You know, robots aren't meant to harm humans, but they always end up doing, or there's always one off case that ends up doing that, you know. Can robots dream? What does it mean if they are dreaming? You don't dream. It's very, you know, like the old man here reminds me a lot of like the Will Smith character in iRobot, of like hatred towards machines, and machines can't do it all, and I'd rather do it myself, and XYZ, and yada yada yada, blah blah blah. So I'm trying to look at the little thumbnail poster there. How many characters have we seen? 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's still 3 on there that we haven't seen. So yeah, so it's your classic like human and robot themes that you see across a lot of stories of robot consciousness. Do we give them permission to do this? Should they be able to do that? It's written into their like base DNA core code to they, you know, not to harm humans, XYZ, yada yada. So that seems like that's going to be the ongoing theme here. And the overarching theme is our main character trying to essentially figure out, you know, is this human? Is this machine that's, you know, doing all these killings? They're over here saying the type that the first one was like a basic human is not going to be able to kill that. Very interesting scene of the robot that they have kind of like stuck in stasis mode down there. I don't know what his purpose is. Again, my understanding is it looks like he has killed somebody. Like that robot has killed somebody, if not some bodies. they've been studying him and running diagnostics to see if it was a malfunction, something in its code, yada yada yada, but everything has come back positive. So I don't know if they keep him alive to just continuously run tests whenever they feel like it to see if they can figure out the why behind it, or can robots straight up be killers. Our main character, I mean, I'm pretty sure it was stated there that he's killed a human before, or humans, and that would explain kind of like the PTSD, blood-stained dreams that we seem to be going through his mind that he has. Very curious about his wife. Is she also a robot? Does she know? What are human and robot relations? If they're producing robots like him, I mean, are human and robot relations not allowed? Like, again, I don't really know the rules behind it, but it's very the robots are very advanced, and I could see why people would be like the old man here if the humans aren't gonna be able to do jobs like they're doing. So I could see why humans would hate it, or some would. I mean, you're losing out of the workforce. It's just going to be 100% them because you probably don't even need to pay them. But it's very interesting that, like, robots are just out here living. Like the maid we ran into that had the police robot husband, like, he comes home to her every day and they like have dinner and conversations and relations, and he just like leave. Okay, honey, what? That's so interesting because like that's like really like it, like I don't know if I've ever seen that in any type of I guess robot iteration that I've read or seen. You know, you would think if like, oh, you know, she's a maid, he's programmed to be a police officer, that like when the shift is over, he just like goes back in a closet and like charges and goes on like hibernation mode or something like that, and like maybe when her duties are done. But he's like leaving the office and going home like he has a wife and shit. So that was just wild to see. But I'm pretty sure those are pretty much the overarching themes that we covered there of episode 1. I mean, there's a lot to discuss. It's an hour-long episode, so we're not going to probably remember or get to everything. But we pretty much have got the basis of it. And like it says, you know, it's been written in there. You know, they said it multiple times of international robot laws is robots cannot harm humans. I mean, you see that all the time. And usually when you see that in any type of story or literature, there's going to be a scenario where a robot harms a human. Now, the question is going to be like, why? Because it should be written, even if you're not giving them base commands and they're free thinking and can have free flowing conversations where they're not like checking with the database on how to respond or giving you like essentially robot style answers. I think you just have free thoughts and free flowing conversation. There should be a baseline core code of in everything, no matter how free will they are, or the dreams they have or subconscious of like, you cannot harm humans. I'm sure that's like written in, and it's international law. So the question would be how, if it is a robot that's doing this and robots have done it in the past, how is that happening in their code? Are they being messed with? Are people going in there and like rewriting code and then putting these robots back out there on the streets? Is it a baseline diagnostics format function that there's just a problem that humans have not been able, even though it's written in the code, something just seemed like, you know, when you go get surgery, you got to sign off and it's like, you know, there's a 99.9% chance you'll be fine, but just in case you could die on the operating table. I mean, you hear that all the time. Unfortunately, it's pretty sad. I mean, you got people that go in for like routine ACL surgery, or, you know, getting your stomach scanned, and, you know, people go in for colonoscopies and people they just die. Like, it's very rare. But when they say 99.9%, there's still 1%. So same thing here. It's like, it may be written in there, but like, statistically, every so often it might just happen. Because wasn't he having a meeting with the two other investigators, and they were saying like, oh, this is like the incident that happened a decade ago or so long, which I'm guessing is another incident where a robot killed somebody? Is that the robot that's held in captivity? I have absolutely no idea. So a lot of questions. Not gonna have all the answers in one episode. We've got 7 hours worth of episodes. I was curious if this was going to be a one-off with the old man on the side. In North number 2, and the whole North number 2 thing, you know, he's like, did you hear about what happened in Switzerland or Sweden or whatever it is that he said? I'm like, oh yeah, a tornado went through there, killed the robot. He's like, well, I'm getting a reading that just happened like 100 kilometers from here, and it's on the way. There's a threat coming here, a tornado coming here. Are we talking like was he just up there like battling like some rain clouds and trying to keep it away from like destroying the house? Or is that a robot in those clouds that like uses that as cover, and he was able to know that like, oh, there's a threat in there, not like a tornado, like there's an actual robotic threat in there, I'm gonna go throw hands. That's how I took it. But there's a lot solid episode though. We'll see what we get. Appreciate it, everybody. Like, share, favorite, subscribe, and as always,